Evening everybody, Rich here, back for another From the Depths sinking ship video, and this is sinking the RMS Aquitania. Now this is another one of my ships from my collection, and one that I've done tutorials for in Minecraft. It's been converted straight from Minecraft, but like with the Lusitania I did a couple of days ago, it's not the preferred version, it's still the version when using the old style bow, which does not really look that aesthetically pleasing, but it's what I've got. I can't find the later version. But yeah, I did two tutorials on it. I did a version with this bow and a newer version which I can't find, but never mind. But yeah, this is converted straight from Minecraft, and this thing is probably the biggest ship I have, apart from the Queen Mary, which I can't convert at the moment because of welded it problems. This is the biggest ship now. It's a good, I don't know, 200 blocks longer than the Lusitania I just done, so this thing is huge. It's very similar in appearance, but it is much bulkier. And it's going to take a while to sink. There's no guarantees it will sink. I mean, it's so big. It's going to take a bit of a hammering. But I got the usual tools at my exposure, or my exposure. What is the word? Doesn't matter. The Mamba. That's the thing that I'm going to be using. It's a bit far away, but never mind. So yeah, we've got Aquitania here. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And in accordance with some questions I've been asked about uploading these to the Steam workshop for From the Depths. I may do it, I don't know. I have uploaded one ship before, but I got told where to go with it, so you know, two wrongs don't make a right. So I may upload them, I don't know, I haven't really decided. But there are a lot of assholes on the workshop who just don't like me. For some reason, I don't know. But what we're going to do now, we're going to pick a point to shoot at. We're going to pick a point at the bow because this is the easiest point. So we're going to use the big gun first. I'm not going to use torpedoes yet. So we're going to get the Mamba to aim a big gun. There we go. Try and aim at the forepeak of the bow. And hopefully, well, game's gone into seizure mode, so hopefully when the game unseizure's, it won't be as long to sink as the Lusitania. But we will see. And that has cracked the heavy armour already, so that's quite a good shot. So that's blown a small hole in the bow, but it's gone right through both bulkheads. So, well, one bulkhead. It's a longitude bulkhead, so it's gone straight through that and blown a hole in both compartments. So that's a good start. I'm happy about that. Actually, let's aim another a little bit higher up. Hang on, let's find out where the next compartment is. It is right here. So if we aim about there. And see where we aim at. The ship is starting to tilt as well for some reason. Because the funnels on the top are actually made out of heavy armour as well, so there is a danger of the ship tipping right over, but we'll have to wait and see. But there we go, there's another good shot there, so that's blown a hole right there. So is that cracked? Yeah, that's gone through the armour as well. So that has not blown a hole in the longitude bulkhead, but it has cracked the heavy armour draft. So there we go. That's Aquitania is actually great. You can see she's gradually tipping over. So I'm gonna watch that. Gotta try and balance the books a bit here. So if we aim roughly the same place again, and hopefully the shells will puncture both compartments. And then we have a big blast in there. And then what's that done? It hasn't improved the situation. And it hasn't blown open that bulkhead, but it's getting there. If we can just break open that bulkhead, the ship should settle. In theory. Oh, there we go, that's done it. That's blown her open, and now she's starting to tilt down forwards. So now the forecastle always below the waterline, and the ship is going to tip down, let's say tip down a little bit, so she's still in danger of tipping over. You can see the angle of that. I mean, you wouldn't be able to launch lifeboats off of that. But you can see the damage. It's blown a hole right through. I mean, the heavy armour's cracked and pierced open and scorched a bit, and it's gone right through into the next compartment. So that's 4 compartments breached. So keep with tradition, we'll move on to the next one. Oh, where is the next compartment? It is not too far away. It's about there. I don't think these shells are going to hit down there because they're too low in the water. And that actually hit, and it hit... Ooh, that's not a good sign. But it hasn't hit in the right... Well, it's hit the armour and damaged it, but it hasn't actually punctured the compartment in question, so... But it has levelled the bow out, so the ship is settled slightly. And oh, that's another big boom. So yeah, that's blown the compartment open now. So now the ship is going to start down again. So that's enough. I've actually got a crow's nest on this one as well, I notice. Right, so that's doing the job. Let me just have a quick fly around the ship. You can see she is at quite a precarious angle, but look at the detail on it. I mean, compared to the Lucy's, there is a lot. I'm not saying it's accurate, but there is a lot of detail on it. There's loads of davits, all that. That's quite detailed, and all the other bits. And there's loads of bits of the superstructure on the top. You've got the 4 propellers, 2 of which are now exposed to the water. You've got a flagpole there, which hasn't got a flag, so I really ought to have attached one of those. So if we look here, you can see. I think the ship has settled. If I just look here, the stern is stable, so the propellers, although at different angles, they are stable, so that's absolutely fine. So I'm going to try and stay at a sort of distance to do this. You can see the details on the top. There's loads of deck houses and things. So I'm going to try and stay at a stable distance. If we can get the Mamba a minute, if we just head to Mamba and try and get a bit closer, because this is going to take forever. We can just manoeuvre Mamba to get a little bit closer. That's the gun just gone clunk. Really should have put this in a better position to begin with, but hey ho, there we go. You can see the ship in the distance. Looks horrific, doesn't it? The way it's just tipping like that. Come on, man, but you can go faster than this. We're doing a 13.5 k's, well, meters a second, so that'll do, I think. Okay, I think that should be enough. We'll just turn this way a bit. As you can see, we're in the very deep part of the ocean. We're not actually on the map, so there's no seabed. So the ship, when it sinks, is going to sink, and it's not going to bob up and down. So right, so we're in a fairly decent place. Let's fire a few torpedoes, and I'll try and get this thing to go down. So I'm going to try and stay at a relatively safe distance, so you can see the whole ship in motion, or see the whole ship tip over or whatever. So there we go. There's the hole in the superstructure being created, and blasts all along the side. And the game froze for a second then, which is not good. Reason for that is the ship is just so big. I mean, it has been beamified. I mean, there are 4 meter, 3 meter, and 2 meter beams used on this thing, so it's not all individual blocks like Minecraft usually is. So I have done the job properly. So just launch another set of torpedoes. I mean, there's probably going to be about 2,000 or 3,000 torpedoes fired at this thing. I mean, they're not very powerful torpedoes. I admit they're not like the ones you get on a World War II U-boat. But they're enough to, you know, do that. But then again, it is the physics of the game which sort of lets it down. And that was a big blast, and now the ship just took quite a substantial list to one side. But it really shows you all the superstructure on the top. Kind of irrelevant, but there you go. So we just have a quick fly around. You can see it's quite a horrific angle. I mean, you wouldn't be able to launch lifeboats at all. Speaking of which, I think they're all oh no, one lifeboat was bit in the dust, and 2 davits have broken off, so not a good sign there. And the mast is still attached, which is surprising, because usually that's one of the first things to go. So we've got the ship is stable, but it's not a good angle. Sort of sit around here. Torpedoes. There we go, a few more there. is we've got to try and concentrate the torpedoes on the bow, try and crack it open. But the ship is taking a very subtle dip in the forward, in the bow, sorry, and not a lot's happening. But then again, I did say she is pretty big, so she's going to take a hell of a lot of sinking to get her to sink. Let's launch a few more torpedoes. Like I said, this thing is huge. I mean, it's about 150, maybe 200 blocks bigger than the Lusitania I built. So it's quite hefty. And that's a big list on the side there. Not a good moment then. So we just go back to Mamba and aim her towards the bow a bit more. I don't really want to. I'm trying to get her to go down bow first, but I don't want her to tip over. And I think that hasn't done very much. Have a quick look at the bow. You can see the funnels down the water, but the ship is still at still stable. So what we do is we fire a few more. A lot of torpedoes missed, but that's not a big deal. And she tips towards the bow. Okay, that's quite a big hit then. You can see the ship is going down pretty quick now. See the red draft is starting to show again. Red draft on the stern, so the stern is rising. I'm not sure how high in the air it will go. I mean, this ship is quite long, but it's also quite heavy. So I don't think there's going to be much of a sort of rising out of the air in a graceful fashion. But the stern is definitely rising there. I just see in the distance some torpedoes explode. She is going down gradually. So the forward funnel is now completely underwater. And the second funnel is almost completely underwater as well. Now the stern's taking a very, actually I say a very subtle rise, it's taking quite a substantial rise. So the propeller's now exposed. So the ship is sort of on a seesaw now, it's sort of balancing out in buoyancy. The front end's full of water, the back end isn't, so that sort of explains that. Just continue to fire torpedoes until this thing goes under, that's basically the whole purpose. But as you can safely say, you know, it's more realistic than what some people do. You see some videos of people sinking ships, yes, the ship goes down, you have about 90% of the ship actually in the air out of the water, which is completely unrealistic. So there we go, 3 funnels now underwater and the stern is still upending. So I'm tempted to just, if we just fly over to see, you can see how much the angle is increasing The stern is rising gradually. It's got 3 propellers exposed. The fourth propeller's missing, so that's that. The damage along the side caused by a few torpedoes is catastrophic. Basically, the whole thing's open. Some some funnels are supported only by the flumes. But yeah, not too bad. But looking at the ship itself, she ain't long for this world now. So if we just turn Mamba now to aim towards the stern. Seems callous to do this, but shit needs to be done. We don't want to be here all day, do we? You know, some of us got homes to go to and things. We don't want to be here all day waiting for this thing to sink. There we go. But it just continue firing the last torpedo. I mean, you can see all the pieces, and even underwater, all the pieces just breaking off. And the stern continues to rise. They just keep firing torpedoes. Just blown the mast up, so the bottom of the mast has got a couple of davits just rise to the surface. See a couple of lifeboat davits there. The stern continues to rise. And the ship gradually gets smaller because of the pieces that are breaking off. So just huge amounts of everything just breaking off. Fire another load. I don't think she's going to go down too quickly. She's still putting up a quite a good fight. She's stable, but there ain't much left of her. I think soon what we're going to have to do is aim the big gun at the draft in the stern, just to try and break open that compartment, just to get her to go down. I think pummeling with or pummeling her with torpedoes is just sort of delaying the inevitable. Do 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 do. You still see the stern; it's still rising, but not for much longer, hopefully. You see, look underwater. You can see all the pieces just flying up. So if we fly over a second and just get a sort of an idea of, you can see the ship is still. I mean, I'm stood still, and you can see the ship is still going up in the angle. The ship is going down gradually, as you can see. The front end is going under, but the back end is just getting steeper and steeper. I'll say the front end, the top end of the superstructure is getting further and more in the water, but the draft isn't. So I've got a feeling the ship will be completely vertical before it goes under. So if it comes to that, we'll just have to fire the big gun to try and crack the slab. I'm tempted to just drive the Mamba and park it inside and try and ram her, but I think the Mamba will come off worse because the Mamba is just light alloy. And it's full of ammunition as well, so if that goes up, the whole thing will go. But look at that, all these pieces coming off again. But still, just continue to fire torpedoes until something happens. It's like waiting for the rain to stop here in Britain, you know, it's it's sort of something that's never going to happen. Although saying that, it's not raining at the moment. Alright, well, the Aquitania is stable, still not going down. Well, she is gradually, but she's more just turning up, turning propeller ways up into the air. So if we just have a quick look at the ship, or what's left of it rather. The mast has just broken off there. That's all good. Tops of the funnels are virtually all gone. There's a piece just gone there. Something black there, I don't know what that is. That is just a scorched piece of superstructure. And yeah, she's not looking too pretty anymore, but if you look at her on the other side, she looks fine. So it's not too bad, considering. But out of the water, she looks like that. A horrific sight. And I've just launched a load of rockets, which doesn't help. Alright, so where are they going to go? They're going to go wherever they bloody well like. They wouldn't hit. I know they weren't going to hit because there's no heat signature on them. And we've got some big pieces just flying up to the surface now. Okay, let's launch a few more torpedoes and see what we can do. The ship has actually turned as well. She's sort of rotated around. Either that or I'm just looking at it at the wrong angle. Here comes the torps. I think some of them missed. Yeah, they did. There are some big pieces coming to the surface now. I'm interested to see what they are. Got, what that is there, I don't know what that is. I think that's a roof of something. There's a davit. There's another davit, I think. There's just wreckage everywhere. Great. But there isn't much left of the ship above the water now, so we've just got to keep pummeling until something happens. Right, where are we? Well, there's Mamba there. Mamba, I think, needs to get a bit closer. I mean, look at that in the distance. That is... You can really tell now the ship has actually rotated in the water as you sort of turn towards us. So we're going to get Mamba. Basically pull alongside. I'm going to try and attack the red draft. Don't really want to do it, but sometimes these things will not go. And I really need to fix the manoeuvrability of this thing. It's a bit icky. We stop there and just turn on the spot. And that will do, I think. So we're that close, basically. So we just fire a few torpedoes, see what happens. See if any reaction to the damage. And I don't think there's going to be any effect. So what we're going to do, we'll launch up the big gun. And look at those pieces rising again. We're just going to attack the draft about there. See if that'll bring her down. Bit too high, but never mind. why hasn't done it? Right, a bit lower. Still, she puts up a fight. So that heavy armour is pretty tough stuff. Oh, there we go, that has actually cracked it. There we go, now she's going down much faster. And sort of settling a bit more. And another big piece just rose to the surface over there. There it is. Just fire a few more torpedoes just to make sure. It's not really made any difference to the sinking, she's just going to go down in her own way now. And just let her be. There's no point me doing up a follow-up of the wreck, because there will be no wreck. The ship won't hit the bottom for about 30 billion years, because there is no seabed in this area of the map. At least I haven't found one anyway. But there goes the Aquitania, the biggest ship that I have available for this game. And she has bitten the dust. And there she goes. So there we go, that's Aquitania all gone, all done and dusted. And we're just going to have a very slow trip down into the light of the abyss down there. So that's pretty much it. Don't really know what to do next because I haven't really got any more ships available to me because most of my ships were deleted. I had a hard drive crash a couple of months ago and lost most of my ships. So being able to convert them back or convert them across to this game is a bit tricky. So if anyone's got them available, if anyone's actually built the ships and are actually able to send them back to me, then by all means. I mean, I'm only going to be sinking my ships. I'm not going to be sinking anyone else's unless they ask me to. I'm not going to go, and download loads of people's ships and just sink them. I'm not that sort of person. So yeah. Anyway, that's it for me and for Aquitania. So this is Rich signing off, logging off, and disappearing. And I shall return with another video. So bye for now.